Hello, everybody. You're on the mic. And today we're going to take a little bit of a break from the Ron Toye Ken Jennings interview. As as many of you know, I've been following the story from, you know, giving my commentary analysis based on, of course, Come Geeksum's coverage of it as such. Since he did not upload a video today on it, we're gonna look at something else today. Today we're gonna talk a bit about cancel culture, the cancel culture craze that's happened over the last 2 or 3 years here. So I know the first thing you're gonna ask me, well, what is cancel culture? Cancel culture is the idea of basically trying to get rid of somebody from the public square, or quote unquote canceling them. You know, um, usually it's a group of people who will usually try to get rid of a particular individual, or a group of people. Usually because they just, for whatever reason, they usually don't like them. Either they have a difference of opinion on things, they have different ideological values, different religious values, what have you. But the idea is that what cancel culture is basically the idea of trying to get rid of somebody from the public square, trying to kick them out of the public square where they cannot be successful. We've seen this, seen this in a few cases. Most notably, of course, Johnny Depp and Vic Mignogna. You know, to lesser degrees, I know Scott Baio. They were going after him a little bit too. You know, Basically right now, as most people know, the majority of Hollywood is left leaning ideologically. Okay, they tend to be more Democrat, more quote unquote progressive, which is just a nicer term for socialist, communist, or Marxist. Um, but rather than being able to agree to disagree and just be professional, you have people who will sit there and try to silence the other side, who will try to like sit there, and if you don't agree with them, then they'll try to cancel you. As I said, we've seen it with Johnny Depp, we've seen it with Vic Mignogna, we've seen it to lesser degrees with the likes of Scott Baio and James Woods. You know, idea of kicking somebody out of the public square because you don't agree with them. It's just not right. You know, Now I grew up in a generation where we could agree to disagree. You know, you don't always have to agree with. You can still be friends. You know, you can still work together and not agree on every single thing. Okay. Um, Now the methods usually used in cancel culture is to attack a person's reputation. You know, by making all kinds of outlandish accusations and some pretty horrendous things. A good example is what they did with Vic Mignogna in the anime dubbing industry, right? So initially when things were starting off, initially they were saying that he was a little too touchy feely with fans, particularly with underage fans. They were calling him a creep, and then with that as well, they were saying that he was a homophobe, he was a transphobe. Oh, he's Christian, so basically that means we must be against him. Um, Then, when that wasn't working, then it started to escalate. You know, oh, he's too handsy with people, or you know, we even got to the point where people were accusing him of, basically of forcing himself onto women and forcing himself onto underage girls. Um, and I think most people who have met him have had a chance to observe his behavior. I personally have observed his behavior, and I find those allegations very incredulous. Okay, Johnny Depp went through kind of a similar situation. That apparently, what little I understand, initially his I guess his ex-wife or about to be ex-wife Amber Heard claiming that he was an abusive individual. As evidence turned out, it's the other way around. She was the abusive individual. You know, and it also got it also was at one point costing him his most well-known in recent years, Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean. We've seen other situations where conservative leaning celebrities have been, there have been elements within mainstream media that have tried to cancel them. James Woods is another example who, because of his conservative leanings, I think he even eventually got banned off of Twitter. And a number of conservatives have left Twitter or Facebook and gone over to Parler because of this, because, they keep getting, because rather than have an honest discussion, many on the left just want to act like a bunch of Hitler wannabes and just try to silence the other side. You will accept trans people. You will accept LGBTQ people. And if you don't, you're an ist, you're a phobe. If you don't agree with us, we're going to cancel you. You can't agree to disagree. We can't just leave it at, kind of funny because particularly with actors and stuff, voice actors in particular, you're basically splitting your fan base in half. And then we've heard from like some voice actors as well as even some comic pros, even in the comic industry, where, well, we don't care, we don't like you anyways. We don't want your money. As Yellow Flash and Tug would say, that's just stupid. I think they'd agree with my analysis there. You know, this whole idea of canceling somebody because you don't agree with them is stupid. As I said, you know, and part of this is because of the dehumanization that's caused by social media sites like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram to a lesser degree. It's a lot harder to cancel somebody if you have to face them face to face. It's just human nature. So I think that's about as much of that as I can say. So let's move on to something more positive now. Now June the today is June the 17th. So let's look and see what has happened on this date in history. So first off, on this date back in 1970, the 35th issue of Space Family Robinson, um, the 35th issue of Space Family Robinson was released on the newsstands by Gold Key Publishing. Space Family Robinson, of course, was a comic book series based on the popular sci-fi television series of the time, Lost in Space. As Gold Key did a bunch of these where they would take popular TV shows and make comics out of them, make comic books out of them. So on this date in 1970, which was 50 years ago today, Gold Key Publishing released the 35th issue of Space Family Robinson. Then, on this date in 1995, 25 years ago, um, from the ECW arena, ECW Extreme Championship Wrestling (ECW) had their barbed wire hoodies and choke slams event. Um, from the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The main event for the night was the Sandman defending his title against Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley, in a barbed wire match to retain the and he beat Cactus Jack by TKO in to retain the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. For those of you who don't know, a barbed wire match is basically a match in which instead of the normal ring ropes you see, the ring ropes are replaced with barbed wire. And so you're wrestling in barbed wire. Again, ECW, as many of you may recall, Extreme Championship Wrestling, it was a um, hardcore type match, hardcore type federation. But basically, the main event of the night, Sandman defeating Cactus Jack via TKO in a barbed wire match. Among some of the other matches on hand for the night, Too Cold Scorpio and Taz beat Raven and the Pitbulls in a handicap match in which they were when Public Enemy beat Bad Breed, the Rotten Brothers, by non-appearance. 911 choke slammed his way to victory against Jungle Jim Steele. Vampire Warrior wrestled twice on the night, defeating Hack Myers, and then after that, losing to Tommy Dreamer. So those are some of the big matches of the night, from barbed wire, hoodies, and choke slams on this date in 1995, 25 years ago. And on this date in 2006, the first live action movie adaptation of Death Note was released into theaters on this date in 2006, 14 years ago. Death Note is based on the story of a young man by the name of Light Yagami, who comes upon what they call a Death Note, which is basically a little notebook that if you write somebody's name in the notebook I'd say it's within a minute, they'll die. Unless of course you add more details to the death, they usually will die within like I think a minute or so. But so yeah, that happened in 2006. So the first live action movie adaptation of Death Note was released on this date, 2006. So with that being said, if you guys want to contact me, if you guys want to contact me directly, you can check out the links below. Um, my Discord link is down there. You can direct message me on my Discord. Um, Also, I'm still promoting a bunch of different dub companies. A lot of work out there you guys can check out and see for yourselves. Also, I'm still promoting Vic's GoFundMe. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. If it's on your heart to do so and you have the means to do so, please consider donating. If you've already donated, please consider donating again. And if you cannot donate, you can still help out the cause by sharing the link. Sharing is caring, and you never know. Um, you never know. Maybe somebody will maybe somebody will, want to help out. Doesn't hurt to ask, you know. And also, if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. I always look forward to the conversations with you guys as long as they're civil and respectful. Um, and also, don't forget, Friday is the next premiere of Voices Big and Small. This week, I will be looking over the career of New York based voice actress Emily Barra, most notably Dawn from the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl series, the English voice of Dawn from Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl series. Um, and with that, I hope I'll see you guys at the premiere on Friday, and if not, I will definitely see you tomorrow. Bye.